Today we'll be giving a gameplay overview and review of the game Wolf and Hound, designed by Fukutarou and published by Ninja Star Games. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with To Die For Games. I'm Mandi, the board gaming pinup girl. My fellow hosts are
Tracy, the gaming maven.
Stephane, the game's teacher.
Are you trying to maybe make sure you have the right setup? Are you trying to see how the game ends? Well, check out the timestamps below to find the part you're looking for.
While you're down below, leave us a comment and subscribe to be notified when we post new content.
Wolf and Hound plays in about 10 to 20 minutes, is suggested for ages 10 and up, and accommodates 2 to 4 players. We've got Wolf and Hound all set up and ready to go, so let's get to it.
Wolf and Hound is a partnership game where players protect their flocks of sheep from the wolves who are ready to chase them into the woods. Players team up, chase away their opponent's flocks, while holding on to their own. So Mandi, tell us, what's inside the box?
1 main game board, 4 pasture boards, 4 sets of fences, 4 player cards, 32 number cards, 16 black and 16 white, 24 animal cards, 8 wolf, 4 hound, 2 sheep, 4 metamorphic, 2 extra and 4 designers cards, 16 sheep tokens, 8 white and 8 black, 4 player aids, 7 expansion number cards, 4 black and 3 white. All right, now that we know what we're playing with, how do we set up? Tracy?
Shuffle and deal a player card to each player to determine team and seating order. Players sit clockwise around the table, starting with player 1. Shuffle the number cards and deal 4 number cards to each player, placing the rest in the center of the main game board. Each player takes 3 sheep tokens and places them inside the fence on their pasture board. Choose the animal cards to play with for this game. For the first game, it is recommended to use the cards Hound 1 and Wolf 1 and place them both on the main game board in front of player 1. So, now that we're all set up, how do we play? Stephane?
There are 4 phases for each player's turn. Phase 1, activation phase. Note, this phase is skipped for the starting player's first turn of the game. The active player will check to see if there are any animal cards in front of them. If so, activate them in the following order. A. Sheep cards, with special abilities on the card. B. Wolf cards, reduces a player's sheep count by 1. C. Hound cards, increases a player's sheep count by 1. If there are multiple cards of one type, the active player chooses which order to execute them in. Phase 2. Check endgame condition. The game will end if a player has 0 sheep in front of them after Phase 1 has occurred. Phase 3. Play phase. The active player will choose a card from their hand to play in front of them. The player will then move all animals matching that card, type, or color, taking into account any text on cards. Phase 4. Draw phase. The player draws 1 card from the draw deck. So, are there other ways to play this game? Mandi?
In addition to the base cards, there are 3 types of cards that can make the game more challenging for experienced players. These are the metamorphic cards, which have different effects depending on which side of the card is showing. The extra cards, which have some unique abilities. The designer cards, which have even more abilities that can really change up the game. There is also an included expansion called Meat and Bone. In the expansion, players will remove certain base number cards and replace them with 7 expansion cards. If a player has a meat card in front of them from their previous turn, then this will affect the movement of the wolf or hound. The wolf will stop at a player with a meat card, and the hound will stop at a player with a bone card. So, how does the game end? Tracy?
The game ends if one of the 2 following conditions has been met. 1. If one or more players has no sheep tokens at the start of Phase 2. If only one team has no sheep, they lose. If both teams have a player with no sheep, the player without sheep closest to the start player loses. 2. If a player has no cards left in their hand. The game continues until phase 1 of the star player's turn. Then each player counts up how many sheep they have remaining. The team with the most sheep tokens wins. If there is a tie, the yellow team, which is player 2 and 4, wins. So that is how you play Wolf and Hound.
So now we're ready to give a review of Wolf and Hound. So guys, what did you think?
Cute. Love it. Really did love it.
I enjoyed the game. I like that it has the basic game version, which could really be played by, kids, like fairly young kids. I don't know what the age range was, but 5, 6, 7, 8 years old wouldn't be uncomfortable playing this game with some parental guidance. Yeah. But then you add in the advanced cards, and you get a more of a gamer's game.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. So I enjoyed this game. It was cute. There were a few things that I had concerns with, but we're going to get more into that very shortly. So let's take a look at artwork and theme.
The artwork is very, very on point. Like, you've got the cute little sheep, and mind you, the wolf is a little cuter than it probably should be because it's a wolf and it's supposed to be eating the sheep or chasing them away. But it's still, it's also supposed to be cute.
Right.
And I like the little three-dimensional fences. Like, your sheep go in and they go out. So I found it very thematic. The hound and the wolf were chasing around, going around and chasing away the sheep and collecting them again. So.
I kept picturing Wile E. Coyote and was it Sam? What was the name of the dog in that? Where
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the one where they clock in, clock out?
Yeah, that one. Right? It was like that in board game format.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Exactly. That's literally what it was. So artwork, yeah, exactly. Bang on. Artwork was really cute. I mean, I like that sort of thing, even though the hound was so cute. And the theme is thematic. They had the really cute sheep, or I guess it'd be sheep. And I like the fact that they had them different colors, like they had the darker ones, the lighter ones. Anyway, mix it up a little bit.
Black and white sheep.
Yeah, it's cute. So very good on that front. Quality of components. What did you guys think?
It was really good. The board was solid. I liked, like I said, the three-dimensional textures. The player boards were very, very solid. I found everything was really, really good quality.
I agree. The component quality was good. Maybe in a deluxe version or a Kickstarter deluxe version, they could, bling out the standee components even more, make them 3D miniatures or something like that.
You read my mind. That's what I was going to say.
Make them all cartoony.
3D sheep. You can never go wrong with 3D sheep.
That'd be great. If they made them furry, that'd be even better.
Oh.
It wouldn't be hard. And I mean, even if the publisher didn't come up with this, it wouldn't be hard to go and find little miniature sheep tokens or something to use for that purpose, right?
But if they had one that matched the art, that was it would be really, really
Absolutely.
cute. So, no, I totally agree with that 100%. Game mechanics.
Like Stephane mentioned earlier, I like that just using like the Hound and Wolf 1 cards. Those are super basic. Right. Kids can pick up that game. It was a little simple. We're like, But then when you look at adding those other cards in, the metamorphic cards and all the other ones,
changing the time,
that makes it somewhat more thinky.
Yeah.
More thinky. So I like that. And there's different combinations they recommend, or you can go way off and decide to choose your own and see what that does. So it's nice. Lots of replayability, I find.
Yep. Which is really good.
I agree on the replayability factor, and similarly, she's echoing my thoughts from earlier. So
I do that.
So I did like the cards where it changed I don't know if they called it time or how fast they moved. Yeah, so I guess it would be like time. So instead of going like a full turn, it could go half or double. So you were like thinking in your mind, okay, this could work. Oh shoot, no! Now I'm gonna get I'm gonna get my own sheep taken away from me because of this card. So that kind of threw a wrench into your plan. So I thought that was kind of cool. I'm not a big fan of games where there are set players. So where you have to play with 4 or you have to play with 3, or games that require a dummy player. I don't know why. I don't know. It takes away from the game for me.
Yeah, dummy players aren't great. This is a game that I personally think should be 4 people. So if you just happen to have 4 people, it's great for that.
Right.
But yeah, I find it's pretty stuck at 4 players.
Yes.
I agree. The player count definitely works best at 4. We tried playing it 3 players with 1 person playing both sides of a team just to see what the 4-player experience was like. And, mechanically it worked very well. I also don't like dummy players.
Yeah.
So.
No, I just feel like it just takes fun out a little bit.
Yeah.
More work. I mean, gaming shouldn't be work. It should be fun. So it's not a bad thing. They're just not something I enjoy in a game. So something I forgot to mention, artwork theme. I like the cards. People always ask to talk about thickness of cards. I think these ones were really nice. So
They were.
They were. I just thought I'd mention that. So they were good. Similar games.
Well, Chick-a-Pig.
Yeah, which we were just
Chick-a-Pig.
talking about.
We were just talking about Chick-a-Pig. Chick-a-Pig is very similar in the sense that it's like players on each side, and you're not, in this case, you're not working together. Everyone's for themselves,
Right.
but you're trying to work against the person. Mostly across me, and there are other people affecting each other and changing the way the
So
board
you could
plays.
temporarily work with someone and then go against them.
Exactly, exactly. In this case, it's completely working with your
Sure.
teammate, but yeah, very
Yeah.
similar.
I mean, we have several games that are sheep themed, but none of them mechanically are similar to this.
No.
So,
Yeah.
you know, Chick-a-Pig's the one that stands out
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, it's more of a token movement game, but yeah, you're playing in teams or you can play partners. There's not many other games that I can think of that are really similar to this.
No, it's true.
Pretty
Yeah.
neat.
So it's
Pretty
different.
neat.
That's a good thing. So, final thoughts. What did you guys think?
Well, there was a thought I had. I lost it, so
Okay,
I
so
think
we'll go
of
to
it.
Stephane,
I'll
come
comment.
back. Okay.
I enjoyed the game. The light version of the game, the basic version of the game was too simple for me. I liked it more when we added in the advanced cards, and that made it more interesting. Had to, plot your course a little, more carefully. So I enjoyed the game. Do I want to buy it and own it? That would depend on Tracy. If she really likes it, then usually I'll go ahead and buy it. But if she's on the fence about it as well, then it might not be something we add to our collection.
Okay.
It won't get to the table very much because we don't often have 4 players. However, I love the artwork, I love the theme, and the mechanics can get pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So I like this game.
And it has sheep.
Yeah,
I mentioned we
that's
have
it.
lots of
Yes,
sheep
I
games.
have,
there.
I have like 4 games with sheep. I don't understand it. I don't know why. I can't explain
I
it.
take that back. It's probably going to be added to our
Exactly.
collection because
So-
it has sheep.
Nothing wrong with that. So for myself, I liked this game, but again, like I said, anything with a set player count generally doesn't make it to my table, especially if it's like 4. Because we usually play with 3 or we play with 2, or you know what I mean. 4 is a really hard number, I find, to get to the table. But the art is quite nice. The game mechanic is different, but I agree with you when we didn't add those kind of extra cards to make it more difficult. I found it a little easy, so it might be light for maybe some non-gamers, or if you have young children, that could work. So overall, for me, I don't think it's something that I would add to my collection, but it's a good game. So I think I think the player count is more what bothers me for me, because it just won't get to the table. So overall, that would be my opinion. So that's it for Wolf and Hound, and we'll see you next time. Bye.